You just have to get in the seat of the new John Deere Gator XUV. Not because it puts work in its place, but because all this versatility kind of just makes your day.
The Brawley Police Foundation is an independent, nonprofit organization that provides grant funding and crucial resources to the Brawley Police Department, with programs that would normally not be funded. These programs directly improve public safety and enhance the quality of life for our citizens.
Of 7.4 yards per carry and 4 touchdowns. His other running mate in the backfield will be number 23, Matthew Moreno. Both of these are returning all Imperial Valley football stars, as Matthew has carried the ball 42 times for the Golden Horde with 376 yards. a 9-yard average. His longest run is 64 yards, and he has 5 touchdowns to his credit. But he's not done there, John. He's also a standout receiver coming out of the backfield. He has 4 receptions to his credit for 65 yards, 16.3 average yards per catch. That's good enough for a first down, along of 48 yards and 1 TD. But their standout receiver and standout player is transfer number 3, Sergio Garcia. For local Imperial Valley fans, that should be recognizable, as Sergio was a standout his freshman and sophomore year for the Central Spartans. Tonight's captains for today's game are, for representing the Wildcats, number 10, Roy Rosas, number 66, Cruz de la Loera, number 56, Andrew Tigert, and number 59, Drake Seals. On the Calexico side of the ball, their captains are 71, Chris Fernandez, 55, Luis Vasquez, 73, Joseph Guzman, and number 11, Julian York. Coaching for tonight's teams, for Brawley, it's Lawrence Landy in his first year, and in his 5th year, Coach Fernando Solano. So both of these coaches bring a lot of coaching experience. Landy has been at Brawley, starting out with the freshman and JV program since the year 2000 under John Bishop, and then later for John Self. And now he's got the reins all to himself. And John, they've come out of the starting blocks with a 5-0 record. What say you?
Well, I say that this is typical of Brawley every year, having that type of record. Calexico coming in with 4-1. Brawley won the toss. They've elected to defer. Calexico will be getting the ball first. And hopefully, if the Bulldogs have the heart and the mind all together, they can do this. The last time, the victory over Brawley, October 2000.
Well, Brawley will put on a clinic offensively with Roy Rosas, Brandon Porras, another 2 key playmakers. Talking with the coach before the game, John, Lawrence Landy, the whole field is theirs. They like to challenge the opposing defense, sideline to sideline and goal line to goal line. And some of their players have had big yardage touchdowns, that 83 yards by Sergio Garcia, an 82-yard touchdown. He's also excellent on returning punts and kickoffs, and he comes into tonight's ball game with 5 touchdowns to his credit. Calexico, on the other hand, John, is having to go with Israel Reese, who started last week's game in place of the injured Sean Torres and Bobby Montejano, 2 veteran quarterbacks, very talented, running and passing the ball. In the opening victory against Palo Verde, Sean Torres electrified the crowd with an 86-yard touchdown scamper, and then he got hurt on the following defensive series with a knee injury. He's out for the season. Montejano may be back by season end. Keep your fingers crossed as we get set for the kickoff from Diego Padilla.
And back to receive is Dominic Flores, standing at his own 2-3 yard line.
John, I'm going to take a seat here because
yeah, the windows are dirty up on the top, and besides, we get a better view here.
Well, Brawley in blue pants, white jerseys with blue and gold numerals and bright school bus yellow helmets. I asked the coach, Brawley used to be known and terrorized the Imperial Valley League in the 50s and 60s under Coach Bob Farrell, as known as the Golden Horde. Yellow pants, yellow jerseys. They would bring everybody out in a uniform in the pregame warm-ups, and that was intimidating as they'd run circles around the opposing team as they were doing their calisthenics at their end of the field. Those were the old days, John.
Oh, yeah.
When you wore black high-top cleats.
Right.
And, they waited.
Johnny Unitas. Deep kick. It'll go out of the end zone, and the Bulldogs will get it at the 20-yard line.
Well, Padilla comes in with a strong leg, John. He has 14 touchbacks to his credit on kickoffs, as the Brawley offensive juggernaut has averaged over 40 points a game. But Calexico will get started, John. Let's talk about that starting lineup for Calexico. You got quarterback, you have Israel Reese. The running backs will be number 3, Leonel Canchola, along with Arras Silva, and that standout sophomore, number 32, Jose Fernandez.
And we'll see with the Bulldog offense, 1st and 10. Israel Ruiz. And number 26, Adrian Duron in the backfield. J.J. Jackson in the white hat and his crew.
Which water's yours? Come on, John, it's like being in Rocco's. Okay, let's get good housekeeping up here.
That's
we'll
right.
Get squared away.
Okay, we're ready to start, folks.
Tonight's referees representing the Imperial Valley Football Association, I'll give it to you after this play. A dive up the middle.
And that was number 26, Adrian Duron, only as a senior.
Offensively, the Bulldogs will go with center Chris Fernandez. He's one of the captains for tonight. The guards are number 64, Alexander Guevara, and number 55, Luis Vasquez, another captain. And captain at left tackle, number 73, Joseph Guzman, and the right tackle will be number 79, Mario Moreno.
A pickup of 2 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Israel Ruiz tried again the right side and nothing there.
Defensively, the Wildcats like to go with Damian Clemente, who comes in with 14 tackles to his credit, wearing jersey number 2. Sergio Garcia, number 3, with 17 tackles to his credit. The leading tackler for the Wildcats, though, is number 10, Roy Rosas, from his defensive back position with 19. Other starters on defense will be number 4, Brandon Porras, Nathan Torres, Seth Hoskins, Matthew Gutierrez, Alec Valdez, Matthew Moreno, Aiden Arrequive, Andrew Camilo, a standout defensive back, and I think it just runs in the family genes. He'll be wearing jersey number 36, and Andrew Tigert, one of the captains, manning the defensive line for the Wildcats. So a 3rd and 9 with 10:23 remaining here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game.
Israel Ruiz rolling out. Airs it out, and there's nobody there, and we'll bring up a 4th down. And the Bulldogs unable to get any yardage on that first series of plays, so they'll be kicking the ball.
So Dominic Diaz will be handling the kicking duties, John, and he may be in for a long night tonight, punting. Hopefully we can see his place kicking abilities illustrated here sometime during the game whenever there's a touchdown. Officiating tonight's game, representing the Imperial Valley Football Officials Association, Jesse Jackson. JJ's wearing the white hat. He's the referee standing behind the punter. James Bentley is the umpire. Sal Carrillo, the head linesman. Lloyd James is the line judge. And John Robb, the back judge. An outstanding crew representing the Imperial Valley Football Officials Association.
Rosas and Clemente back to receive. They'll let it go. And following on it, number 4, that's Joshua Ramirez. So the Wildcats will take over in their own territory at about the 32-yard line. 10:02 remaining first quarter.
So offensively, Brawley will come out with veteran quarterback number 8, Matthew Gutierrez, with 33 rushes for 33 pass completions on 55 attempts for 654 yards. Along with, he'll be joined in the backfield with Matthew Moreno, number 23, who has a 9.0 rushing yardage average with a long of 64 yards and 5 touchdowns to his credit on the ground.
Matthew Gutierrez. The handoff right there, number 23, Matthew Moreno. And just barreling his way up the middle and picking up a first down, a pickup of 11. So they'll get it inside the 45 or on the 43. So 1st and 10.
Brought down by number 55, Luis Vasquez there. Looked shaken up on the plate, but the game must go on.
Gutierrez pass in the left flat and hit hard.
That was number 10, Roy Rosas. The ball was held up a little bit, allowing the defensive back, number 4, for Calexico to come in and make that hit.
It looked like Enrique Cota there giving the initial hit. So it'll bring a 2nd and 10 for Brawley.
The ball at the Brawley 43-yard line. They're southbound here at beautiful Willis Ward Field.
Gutierrez on the keeper, rolling to the left side. And tackled from behind, but not after he picks up 13 yards, 15 yards probably.
And that was number 55, Vasquez, again, coming from the left side as a defensive end to catch Matthew Gutierrez from behind. Gutierrez has carried the ball 29 times this season for 214 yards, a 7.4 average, and 4 TDs on the ground.
So 2 first downs in this first series of play. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Sewing Exchange. Need expert sewing and alterations? Visit the Sewing Exchange. Fast, reliable service for your tailoring needs at 321 East Main in El Centro. The Sewing Exchange, where quality meets convenience. And by La Fonda Bar and Grill. Craving the authentic Mexican food? Head to La Fonda. From enchiladas to fajitas in El Centro, we got something for everybody. La Fonda Bar and Grill. And by Esqued Realty. Thinking of selling or buying property? Trust the experts at Esqued Realty with unmatched and local knowledge and offering professional and friendly service for 30 years. Esqued Realty, the mark of excellence. And by Arctic Air. Beat the heat with our top-of-the-line Carrier air conditioning systems at Arctic Air Conditioning and Heating. Stay cool and comfortable with unbeatable reliability. Arctic Air at 352-8855. So Brawley with a football at the Calexico 43-yard line. Matthew Gutierrez, time in the pocket, over the middle. Pass is caught there, number 10, that's Rosas.
Roy Rosas.
And brought down by number 3 and number 4 for the Bulldogs, Leonel Canchola and Joshua Ramirez.
Rosas comes into the game with 5 receptions for 117 yards, an astonishing 23.4 yards per catch. He has a long of 79 yards for a touchdown.
A gain of 7 on that one. Gutierrez, left side, and that is Sergio Garcia finding a seam up the middle, taking it deep into Bulldog territory, bringing up a 1st and goal. He'll pick up a good 30 yards on the yards after the catch when he caught it.
Well, the ball was snapped from the 36, John, and he made it to the 1-yard line.
And this is Sergio Garcia, who was a freshman at Central a few years ago.
Right, and he was one of the players of the year recognized by VSN his freshman year.
So 1st and goal, Matthew Gutierrez and Matthew Moreno in the backfield for the Wildcats. Oh, that's Gutierrez rolling to the right side and avoids the sack and lets it go.
Bulldogs putting pressure.
Number 55, that's Luis Vasquez.
Luis Vasquez. You know, the Calexico Bulldogs want to redeem themselves from after suffering that 38-0 loss. A penalty flag on the play. Let's see what Jesse J.J. Jackson calls.
That's a grounding?
Well, you know, Brawley is noted for being penalty-free, playing smart, fundamental football. And Gutierrez wisely threw the ball out of bounds to avoid the sack, but was there a receiver in the vicinity to justify that flag being thrown?
No, there was nobody out there.
So instead of a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, it'll be a 2nd and 11. 2nd and goal from the 11.
There you go. So as Matthew Gutierrez was rolling out to the left side, couldn't find a receiver, and as a result gets that penalty. And he's going in that direction again, getting pressure, lets it go, and the receiver is there open. It's a touchdown, Brawley, and number 4 on the reception, that's Brandon Porras.
Porras, who came into tonight's ball game with 9 receptions for 100 yards and 1 touchdown, has just added his 2nd for the season thus far in the opening game of Imperial Valley League play. So we get set for the Diego Padilla place kick with Brandon Porras holding.
Number 64 is the place kicker, Vic.
Oh, it's Max Reyes. He's only a freshman. So he has, that's his 5th place kick of the season. He's 5 for 5. But handling the brunt is Diego Padilla.
That's right, at the kickoff. So we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
You use help with your electric bill? Imperial Irrigation District, your public power provider, offers several payment assistance programs. Our income-qualified customers can save up to 20 or 30% on their electric bill and also receive assistance if they face service disconnection for non-payment. For assistance, call us at 1-800-303-7756, visit one of our customer service centers, or find us online at iid.com. IID, where customers always come first.
Grosso's, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1955. Family owned and operated. Located at 1902 West Main Street, El Centro. Grosso's is open Wednesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. Order to go or come in for the Italian dining experience.
Well, back here live at Ward Field, the Brawley Wildcats just scored up 7-0, and Diego Padilla kicking off.
And here on the kickoff coverage team, back protecting the sideline is number 13, Keith Sanchez, a junior.
And that one will not be returned as Dominic Flores saw it go over his head, and the Bulldogs will take over at the 20-yard line with 7:58 remaining.
So offensively, the Bulldogs will go with number 71, Chris Fernandez at center. The guards are 64, Alexander Guevara, and number 55, Luis Vasquez. The tackles are Joseph Guzman, 73, and the right tackle is number 79, Mario Moreno. Defensively for the Wildcats, they'll be going with Damian Clemente, number 2, Sergio Garcia, number 3, Brandon Porras, 4, Nathan Torres, 6, Seth Hoskins, 7, Matthew Gutierrez, 8, Alec Valdez, 9, and Roy Rosas, 10. We'll give you the linebackers after this play.
Israel Reese with a jet sweep, fakes it, he'll keep it, and is brought down from behind. Well read by number 8 for the Brawley Wildcats,
Mario Gutierrez. Matthew Gutierrez. And number 23 is Matthew Moreno. 33 is Aiden Arrequive. 36, and a standout defensive back, number 30, Andrew Camilo. And 56, Andrew Tigert.
So no gain on that one for Calexico, as the keeper there by Israel Reese. So 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Well, Johnny was brought up from the junior varsity. This is his first year playing organized football. Last week he looked like a deer in the headlights, and here he throws a pass.
To the right flat, incomplete. It was a pop pass. It was right quick.
Guarded closely by number 4, Brandon Porras.
And Calexico facing a 3rd and long. 7:12 remaining, first quarter.
Hopefully that's not a common phrase that you'll be using tonight. 3rd and long.
Well, we want to have a good, safe, exciting game. You know, we look for a close game. When we broadcast. So, and our other VSN group, Will Torres and Ron Rubio, are out in Holtville with the team from Henderson, Nevada.
That's right, Lake Mead Academy, coached by Jay Schroeder, who was a high school rival of John Alway. Then he played at UCLA while Alway was at Stanford, and then he led his Washington Redskins then to the Super Bowl and then finished out his career playing for the Oakland Raiders.
Jose Fernandez brought down behind the line of scrimmage in a 4th and 15 from the 15-yard line. And so the Bulldogs getting set to punt.
And that's Dominic Diaz, number 19, coming in along with a punting unit. Dropping back deep to receive for the Wildcats, number 2, Damian Clemente.
And Roy Rosas.
Okay, so the Wildcats aren't utilizing Sergio Garcia as a punt return man.
Dominic Diaz. And it'll be returned and brought down immediately by Lionel Canchola. That is number 2, Damian Clemente, an excellent read. So Canchola there, he was also in the injured list, didn't play at Holtville, and the game before that. So I think he didn't play at Francis Parker either.
You know, there are several Brawley players wearing blue helmets that are different from the rest of their teammates who are in chrome yellow or school bus yellow helmets. Any particular reason for that, John?
That's a good question, Vic.
You being a former offensive lineman, currently the principal of Calexico High School.
I'm not sure, but
Has that purchase order come along?
jet sweep, Luis Vasquez bringing down Matthew Gutierrez in a rugby scrum with a 2-yard gain.
Trying to run behind the blocking of number 66, Cruz de Loera, along with number 59, Drake Seals, but not much running room there as the Calexico rush defense stiffened up.
So just under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Brawley with a football at the Calexico 46.
And Brawley with a 7-0 lead over the Calexico Bulldogs, scoring on their first drive.
Option 2, Moreno breaks one tackle going down the far sideline. Gets a lot of room. He could go all the way. And another touchdown, Brawley Wildcats from the 46-yard line on a little option pitch from Matthew Gutierrez to Moreno.
So just like that, Matthew Moreno taking the pitch, running on the left side, following the blocking of Cruz de Loera and Drake Seals, along with Andrew Tigert, and picked up a horde of blockers once he got past the 30, and he just waltzed into the end zone.
Now, is this Max Reyes any relation to our friend Eric Reyes from Brawley?
Well, his brother and his dad was named Max, so it might be Max the third. We should get a text from Eric pretty soon.
Snap set and the split in the uprights. And with 5.5 to go, first quarter, 14-0, Brawley. We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
InnerCare since 1970. When it comes to healthcare, InnerCare is here to help, with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. InnerCare, improving the health and wellness of the community.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price, fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
We're back here live at Willis Ward Field. The Wildcats kicking off. Diego Padilla to Dominic Flores. And again, it'll go into the end zone, non-returnable. So let's see what the Bulldogs can muster up in this third series of play in the first quarter.
Well, John, that's an excellent weapon to have on special teams. Number 19, Diego Padilla, a senior, 5'11", 154 pounds, as he's boomed all his 3 kickoffs into the end zone and forcing Calexico and their opponents to start out at the 20-yard line, denying them an opportunity for a run back. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Willis Ward Field, the home of the Bulldogs, as the Calexico Bulldogs, with their back to the end zone, going right to left on your visual screen. They're heading northbound at scenic Willis Ward Field.
Israel Ruiz on the keeper, grabs 2 yards.
And he was hit immediately by number 9, Alex Valdez, who came into tonight's ball game with 10 tackles to his credit.
So a 2nd and 7 for Calexico.
So in the first 5 victories, John, the Wildcat defense has been very, very stingy, not allowing much yardage, let alone points.
So Fernandez and Ruiz. And Fernandez with the ball carrier to the 29.
A pickup of about 6. He just shy of a first down. Needs to get to the Calexico 31. The ball at the 29.
And of course, this is the best gain that we've had in the first quarter for Calexico. 4:19 and counting in the first quarter remaining.
Well, the biggest danger or threat to the Calexico offense is becoming one-dimensional, where they're relying on the run because the passing game is unproductive and ineffective. And this will allow the Brawley linebackers to tee off and blitz on every play.
Well, they're bringing everybody. And Fernandez gets a first down. He's got a room up the middle. And a big gain for Jose Fernandez as he takes it to the Calexico 44-yard line. 1st and 10.
Fernandez, only a sophomore, but as Coach Solano pointed out early in the season, he runs downhill, John, like a runaway semi coming down the grade on Interstate 8.
And these blue helmet covers, according to Coach Lolo Gonzalez, is extra protection to prevent concussions. They're using them in the NFL now. Thank you, Richard Lolo Gonzalez, and thank you for tuning in. And I hope you're enjoying retirement. Maybe you can come out and help us coach.
Well, Lolo was an outstanding assistant coach with Cal Armstrong, and he was honored last Friday with that 93 championship team. And then when he had the varsity reins to himself, produced a lot of outstanding offensive plays as well as a good overall team performance.
Well, he was a coach of our third guy, Butch Morales. Hand off to Fernandez and nothing there.
So the Brawley interior defense, led by Tigert, Andrew Camilo, along with Drake Seals, making it difficult for the running game to get going up the middle, along with Blake Riley, a defensive tackle, going at 6 feet, 220 pounds.
So 2nd and 10 for Calexico. Clock winding down at under 2.5 minutes in the first quarter.
You know, Brawley was one of the first high schools to initiate that 0-period weightlifting during the offseason, John, and it's really paid dividends as Brawley has been excellent year in and year out.
It's a must to have that program in the morning. Number 27 for Calexico, that is Andre Lopez. Andre Lopez couldn't find much room there. In fact, there was a loss of yardage.
Should we bring out Martha and the Vandellas? Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. John, we have a new audience, so this is a first-time experience as the mayor pro tem, or is it the mayor? Oh, just the councilman. No, we can't have you at halftime.
Gilly Riboyar.
We want important dignitaries. Okay.
3rd and 13 for Calexico.
You still have time to go get a tie and a coat, or bring us a couple of hot dogs, and then you're in like Flynn.
3rd and 13, Israel Ruiz. Jose Fernandez, no, and he faked it to him and shoot it over to number 4. That's Joshua Ramirez, incomplete. Bulldogs now faced with a 4th and long.
Pressure put on by number 8, Matthew Gutierrez, forcing, or number 9, Alec Valdez, excuse me. The 9 and the 8 look very similar from the side.
Well, that was a good series of play for Calexico. They felt a little momentum there, getting a 1st and 10. A great run for Jose Fernandez.
I think they call those moral victories.
There you go. It's something.
Ladies and gentlemen, at halftime, we're going to feature Gil Rebollar, city councilman from the city of Brawley. Last year's, remember, John, the switchboard lit up when he was on there challenging Eric Reyes with a number of likes.
Dominic Diaz with a punt, end over end. Well guarded by the Bulldogs. And falling on it is Joshua Ramirez inside the 20 around the 19.
So with 1:05, we'll be back with more in a minute.
Tonight's game is brought to you by El Centro Motors. Looking for unbeatable deals? Head to El Centro Motors. Get huge savings on all your favorite models. Visit us today, El Centro Motors, where your dream car is waiting. and by Sanders Architecture and Engineering. Discover innovation with Sanders Architecture and Engineering. Trust Sanders to build the future today. Wishing all the teams a safe and successful season. First and 10 for the Brawley Wildcats. Matthew Moreno, Matthew Gutierrez in the backfield. And rolling,
There he is,
going
all
deep,
alone.
a man, that's Sergio Garcia, just like that, taking it to the house. Touchdown, Brawley Wildcats from the 19-yard line.
An 81-yard touchdown pass, catch, and run from Matthew Gutierrez to fleet receiver Sergio Garcia. What an exciting pass combo that Brawley's putting on display here.
And getting beat deep is cardinal sin number 1 if you're playing in the secondary, and Calexico bit on the run, and as a result left Sergio Garcia open.
And John, that's what a powerful running attack will do for you. Not only is the quarterback a standout runner, but Matthew Moreno can really put damage and hurt on a defensive line and secondary with his power and speed. Brandon Porras with a hold.
Max Reyes. And so, Vic, what you have is a team with a positive rating of 7 and Calexico with a negative 29. So there's a big difference in the gap there, and we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beer is in the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Havens and Sons Trucking is located at 603 East Main Street in El Centro and is a business specialized in gravel, rock, stone, fill dirt, base, landscape rock, topsoil sand, and all your hauling needs.
Back here live at Willis Ford Field with under a minute to go in this first quarter. Brawley's up 21-0. And a deep kick from Diego Padilla. And out of the end zone it'll go. Dominic Flores tried to catch it. No luck there. So Calexico will try their best here on a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Well, you know who the first Brawley defender was downfield? The kicker, Diego Padilla. He outran the whole kick coverage team. He must have known that they weren't going to return it. That's why. Anyway, the Bulldogs, with 54 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, down by a score of 21-0, will try to see if they can make some magic happen in the closing minute of the first quarter.
Quick pass. Joshua Ramirez. Left flat and not much there.
Met immediately by number 23 of the Wildcats. That's Matthew Moreno, the fullback who has an 81-yard touchdown run, or 46-yard touchdown run to his credit. The 81 was Sergio Garcia on a pass from Matthew Gutierrez. So Brawley with a lot of offensive weaponry here, John, that can create nightmares for a defensive coordinator.
2nd and 9 for Calexico. This may be the last play of the first quarter. And Reese was confused, didn't know whether to hand it off or keep it, and that'll end the first quarter of play with a score: Brawley 21, Calexico 0.
Well, that was Jacob Padilla, number 55, the defensive tackle, 6 foot, 235 pounds, that made the initial hit, and then the linebackers came in to assist as the first quarter comes to an end.
We'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network. Ojeda Industries is here to offer solutions with exceptional products and services for all your agricultural, industrial, and power transmission needs. It's Ojeda Industries, hydraulic repair service in Brawley at 1698 Jones Street. Call us at 760-623-7299. We're back here live at Willisport Field as we start the second quarter of play. Calexico with the ball, 3rd and 9 coming up. The ball at the inside the 20.
Well, defensively, Brawley likes to go with number 42, Blake Riley, playing up front at the nose position. Andrew Tiger, number 56, Drake Seals, and Chris Espinosa. And that last play, we called out the defensive tackle, Jacob Padilla, in on the play as Coach Landy substituting freely here, giving everybody an opportunity to play. Tonight's officials, headed by Jesse J.J. Jackson, and crew, which also includes James Bentley, the umpire, Sal Carrillo, the head linesman, Lloyd James, the line judge, and John Robb, the back judge. On an outstanding crew provided by John Seaman.
And a fumble in the backfield, recovered. Looks like recovered by Brawley, number 33 for the Brawley Wildcats.
That's Aiden Arriquive, along with Chris Espinosa, assisting on the play, number 77.
So a bad break for the Bulldogs as they give Brawley excellent field position at the 11-yard line.
Well, you know, coming into the ball game tonight, John, we didn't talk about the keys to a Wildcat victory, let alone a Bulldog victory. But the Bulldogs, just by watching and going against this seasoned Brawley squad, has to play a perfect game to stay in this game. You can't be giving Brawley excellent field position inside the red zone there at the 11-yard line.
Gutierrez, and that's Julian York. But finding an open man, and that's number 23. That's Matthew Moreno.
So Matthew Moreno, the safety valve, there waiting on the far sideline.
He may have stepped out of bounds, Vic.
Anyway, it was a good play, good pass, good reception, and it had the Brawley fans on the edge of their seats ready to start singing the Brawley fight song, but they'll have to wait as the ball's inside the 5-yard line. Make it the 4 or the 3, John. That's what those 3 fingers mean.
So 1st and goal from the 3. They're gonna test the field goal.
Well, no, it was good, John.
It was good. Okay, they got a touchdown. Yeah.
So 27
so
now.
The sticks are confusing me. They'll put a first down there.
John, just rely on my commentary. I'd already called the touchdown.
Okay. Sorry, touchdown Brawley.
And you'll be doing okay. The silence of critics.
Oh, well, so another Brawley touchdown, 28-0 in the second quarter.
So what's the margin before they bring on the running clock?
That's too early to tell, I think. You got to wait till the, third quarter. Accidents happen, just like that play that turned over for Calexico. But with Marianne Valenzuela Fenley State Farm, you're covered. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You're covered 50 miles into Mexico. Call them today for a free quote. Burgers and beer, craving the perfect combo? Come to Burgers and Beer. Juicy, mouth-watering burgers and your favorite beverage. What more could you ask for? The best burgers in town. And by Ivy Welding and Mechanical. Need expert welding and mechanical services? Trust the pros who get it done right. On time, every time. Ivy Welding and Mechanical. Precision in every spark. And by Keystone HR. Need top talent fast? Keystone HR connects you with skilled professionals ready to work. Keystone HR, your key to success. At 357-2929. And by CR&R Waste Disposal. Our eco-friendly services keep your community clean and green. Visit crrwasteservices.com, the face of a greener generation. And Dominic Flores will bring it out from the end zone, but no dice as it'll be brought up to the 20. He's just, I guess, practicing the catch. So Central at Cibola tonight, projected win for the Central Spartans, and the Imperial Tigers are in Valley Center, and you can tune into that game with our friends Mickey Dale and George Grijalva on KXO. And next Friday, or next Thursday, I believe, Palo Verde at Southwest.
Yeah, Vincent Memorial has a bye tonight, John. This is their bye week.
But Lake Mead Class Christian Academy at Hoville.
Do we have any updates thus far from Will Torres?
We'll get some right now. Sweetwater at Palo Verde tonight. Well, that's quite a trip, Vic. 2 hours over here and 2 hours over there. Nothing there for ball carrier.
And that was number 55, Jacob Padilla, 235-pounder nose tackle.
45 for Calexico. That's Giovanni Silva.
So it'll be 2nd and 11, a loss of 1 yard on the play.
Next week, Seti's at Vincent Memorial at Southwest, and next in 2 weeks, Calapat at Victory Christian. That's in Chula Vista. So 2nd and 11 for Calexico. Giovanni Silva now in the backfield for Calexico with Israel Ruiz. And Israel back to pass. Looking for a receiver. Overthrows intended receiver number 6, Diego Baez.
Covering on the play, number 7, Seth Hoskins, along with Damian Clemente.
And the clock will stop with 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
So it's a collective effort on defense by the Brawley Wildcats. Calexico still trying to find a formula offensively that can get them 10 yards on every series to keep the chains moving and chew up some clock here with 8:45 remaining in the second quarter. Brawley with a commanding 28-0 lead over the hosting Bulldogs of Calexico.
Reese fakes the dive and running the wrong way, trying to escape the clutches of the Brawley defender, number 56.
Well, it was 57, Franco Morales, 5'11", 218, making the initial contact, knocking him out of the pocket and forcing him to scramble to his left and setting him up for his teammates to make the sack.
And
so it'll be 4th and forever, 4th and 20 to be exact.
And Dominic Diaz.
He'll be punting from the end zone as the ball is at the 10-yard line. He's standing 2 yards into the end zone. Brawley hasn't been putting much of a rush on their punt formation. There they go again. They want him to kick the ball, to give one of their return men, and that's number two, Damian Clemente.
And Clemente running into traffic, but breaking and spinning until he's brought down around the 38-yard line. So a good punt by Dominic Diaz, but nonetheless, Brawley with good field position and an outstanding offensive attack.
The ball inside the Calexico 40-yard line at the 38. Brawley with a balanced offense in their attack with Matthew Gutierrez at the helm. He's got 8 touchdown passes to his credit. He personally has rushed for 5, along with Matthew Moreno, and an outstanding receiving core in Damian Clemente, Sergio Garcia, Brandon Porras, and Roy Rosas. So pick your poison, John.
Gutierrez steps up, goes deep, the right side, and intended for Clemente. Penalty flag.
And right through his hands. A beautifully placed pass for Clemente to run under.
Holding. Calexico. Defensive holding, so that'll bode well for the Wildcats.
So, John, an offensive coordinator to not let his receiver that dropped the pass get down on himself would call his number again. Let's see if Brawley does that.
They'll move the ball to the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Brawley.
But with so many offensive weapons at their disposal, they may just call for the next man up.
Gutierrez with a pitch to Moreno. Finds room on the outside and gets a 1st and 10 inside the 20 at the 16-yard line.
You know, another key element of the Brawley conditioning and preparation, John, is if you're not playing a winter sport or a spring sport like basketball or baseball, they have you go out for track and field and run the sprints to build your speed. And other high schools are imitating that style as they implement that as well. But Brawley's always been at the forefront.
Innovative. Gutierrez pass in the left flat to Clemente and brought down hard by Calexico's Enrique Cota.
Number 8, a senior.
But only until he picked up 3 yards, and he'll take it inside the 15 at the 13.
Well, they have the Calexico defense on their heels because either they defend the run of Moreno, the battering ram, with speed, or Gutierrez, or when Gutierrez in shotgun formation, they use sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone. In other words, like the old days, John, the Golden Horde. Here they come.
And there goes Matthew Gutierrez. Stopped by number 27 for the Calexico Bulldogs, Andre Lopez. 4.5 minutes remaining, second quarter.
Defensively, the Bulldogs go with Lionel Canchola, number 3, Joshua Ramirez, number 4, Enrique Cota, number 8, 11, Julian York, 17, Julian Vidal, 19, Dominic Diaz, Dominic Flores, Arad Silva, 21, Andre Lopez, number 27, Ivan Ortiz, 41, and Luis Vasquez, 55.
Timeout is called, and we'd like to thank some of our sponsors who make this broadcast possible. Hart Insurance, full-service insurance agency, Johnny's Burritos, an Imperial Valley tradition. Keystone HR, Robbie Herrera. Alfred Distributing, family-owned and operated business since 1947. El Centro Motors, visit the team at El Centro Motors for your next car, truck, or SUV. Arctic Air Conditioning, dependable AC repairs and service you can trust. We are Valley Sports Network on NHS and FHS Network. El Centro Police Department, dedicated to serve our community. Imperial Valley College, proud sponsor of VSN's Livestream. Driscoll's, customs embroidery and Letterman jackets. South Cali Air for your air conditioning needs. Desert RV and Towing, 24-hour towing and off-road recovery. Casbros, custom t-shirts, signs, and banners. Burgers and Beer, best burgers in town. CR&R Incorporated, the face of a greener generation. Havens Landscaping for all your landscaping material needs. Reach Medical Response Service. Ojeda Industries, hydraulic service and repair. Imperial Flying Service, proud supporter of the U.S. military. Top Notch, Barbershop, fresh fades, always a cutaway. RDO Equipment, nothing runs like a deer. Esqued Realty, the mark of excellence, and the Brawley Police Foundation.
Well, Brawley likes to go with Drake Seals, Cruz de Loera, and Juan Agramont as providing that offensive protection.
And that was Gutierrez to number 2, Clemente, touchdown, Brawley.
With 3:43 remaining here in the second quarter, Brawley extends their lead to 34-0 as we get set for the the Max Reyes, the point after attempt.
So Brawley's doing everything, and Calexico is having a tough time trying to follow.
Correction, John. It's Diego Padilla now.
Number 19.
Handling the place kicking with Brandon Porra still the holder.
And they're faking it. Fire. Shooting it out to the two-point conversion. Incomplete. But there's a penalty flag thrown.
Who was that pass intended to?
Pass interference.
Who was the pass intended
Number
to?
10.
Number 10, that's Roy Rosas, a standout sprinter on the track team. got behind the defensive secondary of Calexico, wide open. Porras also could have run the ball in. He had a lot of green space in front of him. No Bulldog defenders nearby.
The pass interference against Calexico.
So back to the drawing board.
Padilla with an extra point. It's good, and so it's a 35-0 lead here in the second quarter of 2:12. We'll be back with more in a minute on VSN.
Imperial Flying Service, taking care of the entire Imperial Valley with all your aviation fuel needs. Imperial Flying Service is a proud supporter of our U.S. military, the aviation community, and all Imperial Valley communities.
Looking for lower mortgage payments? Let Rosanna Arroyo guide you through seamless refinancing to save on monthly costs and get better interest rates. Call 760-960-3049 to schedule your free appointment.
Live with a kickoff by Diego Padilla.
Well, John, we've just been informed by the referees that it'll be a running clock the remainder of this quarter, as well as the third and fourth quarters of the ball game, with a 35-0 margin. So the Bulldogs, with the clock running 30, 29, 28, we'll see if they can get a playoff here or just going to halftime to stop the bleeding at 35-0. Well, John, we were talking with Gil Rebollar, the Brawley City Councilman, who will come and grace our halftime show to give us some insight what's taking place in the beautiful city of Brawley and upcoming events, including the cattle call.
And that'll be the end of the first half. Brawley's up 35-0. From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night. This is exciting Imperial Valley football here at Willis Ward Field with the Wildcats and the Bulldogs, and it's halftime. For Vic Carrillo, this is John Moreno. We'll see you in a bit after these messages.
Day in and day out, your publicly owned Imperial Irrigation District proudly delivers low-cost, reliable energy service to its customers in the Imperial and Coachella Valleys. When compared to other power providers, IID's residential, commercial, and governmental customers all save up to 50% on their monthly energy bills. That's because IID is committed to more than just delivering power. IID is committed to you. IID, where customers always come first.
South Cali Air Conditioning, the #1 York dealer in the Imperial Valley. Contact them today for all your AC needs. Call them at 760-556-9901. Casbros, it's that time of year again. Team shirt options are available and ready to go out for adult, youth, and toddler sizes. Call us and let us know how we can help at 760-550-6878.
We are Sewing Exchange, a garment manufacturing company. We manufacture to customer specifications. We do cut and sew, sublimation, uniforms, and we have low MOQs. You can contact us at 442-231-8527. Our email, sewingexchangeinc@gmail.com. And we are located at 321 East Main Street, El Centro, California.
Make It Ford summer sales event going on now. Hi, Mike Morris here, El Centro Motors. Well, the temperature rises, but the prices are going down. Enjoy a summer without payments. No payments for 3 months. 0% APR. 24 F-150s if you prefer a SUV. 24 Explorer is the perfect vehicle for you. And Ford even makes your first month's payment. And remember, if you don't come see me first, I can't save you any money, and it's just that easy.
Lee Tire.
We're back live here at Willis Ward Field as the opening contest of Imperial Valley League play. The Brawley Wildcats journeying south to Willis Ward Field here to take on the hosting Calexico Bulldogs, and Brawley has raced out to a 35-0 lead after 2 quarters of play. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's halftime guest with us is that Brawley standout politically and civically, Gil Rebollad, one of the young rising stars in politics and community activism, and not only with the city of Brawley, but countywide, as he's a deputy CEO with the County of Imperial. So welcome to our show, Gil.
Yeah, thank you. And before all that, before I was a standout politics, I was a standout Brawley Wildcat football player on Friday night. Strong safety and halfback starting, and I love coming out on Friday nights. There's nothing like being under these Friday night lights, just watching these kids give it their all. I know the score might not show it, but I know Calexico is always known for its toughness. I remember when we played, similar score, but we knew that it was going to be a tough night. I think my senior year, I got taken out from a hit in the chest because I forgot who the linebacker was at the time, was a really great athlete and knocked me out. But Calexico, always known for its toughness. I know whenever we played them, that's what we always had to prepare ourselves
Well, let's
for.
talk about this Brawley team, because it just seems like the next man up. First, you have a coaching change, bringing Lawrence Landy in. He's had over 20 years of experience in the Brawley system, starting out under John Bishop, coaching at the freshman level and junior varsity level. Then it was John Self after that. And he's been involved, so he knows these kids. And yet, there's a juggernaut out there with Matthew Gutierrez at quarterback, Sergio Garcia at wide receiver, along with Brandon Rosas and Brandon Porras, and Roy Rosas. But then that standout running back in Matthew Moreno. These boys have been playing together for quite some time. Pop Warner and working their way through. We've called their name out considerably. You know, you had Ethan Gutierrez, that was a standout quarterback since his freshman year, and I don't know if they're related, but Matthew Gutierrez stepped in. There were big shoes to fill, and now he's wearing them like they were his to begin with.
That's Brawley football. You know, I followed Marty Mohammed, who was strong safety monster, who followed Zay Shepard, and so I know when I stepped in, big shoes to fill. But that's the Brawley style: is next man up. You know, and you prepare, and I think you see the people before you. You know, I saw Marty Mohammed play, set the bar. I saw Zay, and I never lived up to those, but it sets that bar to where you want to work and get to. And so that's just a Brawley style, though. And one thing about I was coached under Coach Landy, Coach South, Coach Bishop, and so you know, they instill that hard work, dedication. That weight room is huge, and, you know, and making sure our kids are physically strong. And one thing with Landy too, he was my teacher in high school, and so that connection with the kids is at a really deep level. And so seeing him out there, seeing him connecting, I've seen this Brawley hitting on all cylinders the last few weeks. I'm very excited about this ball game. Like I said, I'm in the City Council of Brawley. I'm already getting some wagers set with the El Centro City Council members because I'm ready to get that ball back.
Let's talk about that because David Shaw, a former quarterback at Imperial High School, and he's the head coach now, he says this is the year, if Imperial's going to do it, to break that glass ceiling that's been kept closed by the Central Spartans under David Peña and the Brawley Wildcats.
I keep hearing about Imperial as well, Coach Swearingen.
So it's going to be a dogfight among those three, and whoever wins each of those games between them will have a clear path to the championship. And if Imperial gets on a roll, that bell game may be meaningless other than bragging rights. But let's talk about Brawley. Is this the year they're going to take the bell?
I hope. I say that every year. I bleed blue and gold. You know, I said I played on that field. I lost the bell my junior year, got my heart broken, won it back my senior year in a 7-0 nail biter at the goal line. And so I've experienced both ends, both extremes of sad and happiness. And so, but above all, like I said, Imperial doing great, Central, that brings out the best of these kids. And there's nothing like on a Friday night seeing some great football.
Well, you know, talking about great football, there's a lot of great talent at all the other high schools that we've covered on VSN. You know, Imperial has a standout quarterback in Jaden Ayala, an outstanding crew of freshmen, players that are making their impact. Shades of Royce Freeman as a freshman. Darren Wessel has electrified the crowd with long runs, power running. He's got excellent speed. You know, they've got some standout freshman receivers, and Gio Robles has come back. He's a 6'5" wideout for Imperial. The last 2 years, his seasons have been cut short due to injury, but he's healthy now. And so there's a lot of weapons at Imperial's disposal under the direction of David Shaw. I'm impressed with the versatile offense that Brawley's put together, throwing, running, and we haven't even talked about Sergio Garcia, who was a standout wide receiver, All-Valley, his freshman year at Central, transferred to La Costa Canyon for his junior year, and now he's back his senior year playing for Brawley. So, you know, the biggest decision for Brawley's offense is who's going to get the ball.
And that's a good problem to have. That's a good problem. I'll take that. But yeah, it's a great, except the football season's been great, exciting. I think that's one word I could describe Brawley football right now is just exciting. Through the air, on the ground. The St. Augustine game last week or 2 weeks ago was really great to see that kind of rivalry revisited from back in 04 during the playoffs. And so, yeah, Brawley football is good. The stat, and not only that, for the community. When Brawley's doing great, the community's coming out there. That last game, the stands were packed, and there was a few seasons here and there where the stands weren't getting as packed. And so to see it back again, it's just really hopeful just that people are coming together for these kids, supporting these kids who are giving it their all on that field.
Well, winning's contagious, and that's what happens when you start winning and you get on a roll. The fans want to come out and see it, even though they can stay in the comfort of their own home watching it on VSN.
Which is a great broadcast.
Will Torres and Ron Rubio usually cover the Brawley games, VSN North, John Moreno and myself and our crew, we're VSN South.
Hell yeah.
So we have Central, Southwest, Imperial, Hopeville, Vincent, and Calexico. And so, you know, we get to see outstanding play amongst all the high schools. But let's talk about the community of Brawley and its relationship with the Brawley High School School District and the coordination of activities and what.
Well, I think you're seeing now school security a big topic, and so you're seeing schools working more and communicating more with the cities, which is, I think, been long overdue. And a lot of schools and cities have been doing it, but to put it on the forefront, get that community conversation going, I think incorporates parents, incorporates officials. It's all for the best. More information, more knowledge is all great. So you know, it's unfortunate some of these incidences that happen to spur this, but we have this conversation, we have this momentum with parents, with administrators, and with city officials, and I think you can bring them all together at the table. It's only going to benefit the community, but it's up to us as leaders, as elected officials, to continue that momentum. And so I know city council members were at the school board meeting recently. Great. That's what they should be expected of them. You know, they should know what's happening, because schools tell you so much about a community. You know, you go to a school, they'll tell you about what's happening inside, what's happening in neighborhoods, families, and the workforce, teachers who are with your kids in your community. So, you know, like I said, unfortunate what spurred it, but I think the potential to do good and good things that come out of it.
Well, when you want to take lemons and make lemonade, let's talk about the general fund and the resources.
Oh, man, that's not the fun stuff.
No, public safety takes up about 65% of your general fund.
Okay, yeah.
And so if the police department and public safety doesn't have the resources, the personnel, this is why you have a measure on the ballot, right?
Exactly.
A tax measure to generate more money for public safety,
and it's not even just
recreation and what have you.
It's not even just also investing in public safety, public works, your parks, your streets. So it's getting what you have and being efficient and smart with it, you know. And so, yeah, we do have a tax measure. We'll see how that goes. If it passes, you know, we'll be efficient and smart with it and invest in our community. If it doesn't, we'll have to make do, and the city will be taken care of. We'll work hard to mitigate that or look elsewhere for how we can generate revenue. So either way, Brawley will be all right. Our cities will be all right. We'll work hard. I will make sure that ultimately we do invest in our community.
Well, not only are you focused on Brawley as you provide representation sitting on the city council, but tell us with your role as a deputy CEO with the county.
Yeah, so it's the county working for the supervisors, a big grander level, I guess, of kind of bigger view. Right now, a lot of attention on Lithium Valley, but not just even Lithium Valley North, and here at the south in the border economy with nearshoring, with the maquiladoras, with just that binational relationship, how we can invest in this border economy that has billions of dollars coming through. And that's just not a city issue, that's also a county. And so I'm excited about how we're spurring that conversation, and that's at a county level, working with Jesus Escobar, the supervisor who represents this region, as well as John Hawk. So a lot going on. I know we're approaching. One thing I do want to share a little quick story. So before I tell Jose, you know, it's political season here in Calexico, a quiet time of the year, right? And so there's a meet and greet right now for two-county Mayor Garcia. And so I showed up, so I'm in the area. I wanted to show up, say hi. He pointed me out, recognized me, said, can you say a few words? And so room full of people at the Women's Improvement Center. I got up, I said, hey, I'm in the area to watch, just to be honest, I'm in the area to watch some Wildcats put a whooping on some Bulldogs. And so I got booed, but I said, you know, I saved myself. I did say, hey, this is a tough team. It's been known to be tough. And I said every time we played, they put a whooping on me. And so it was fun just to...
If you would have mentioned John Moreno or Vic Carrillo, they might have given you something to eat and drink while you were there. Yeah. But anyway, never refuse an opportunity of a microphone and say something.
Right.
And thank you for promoting the city of Brawley. And
Calexico, you got a great, your downtown's improving, and I like your downtown.
Well, you have to remember this at the county level. We have 2 ports of entry, and they're vital to the livelihood and success of the county. If it's good for Calexico, it should be good for Brawley and vice versa.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gil Rebollar, that standout, an upcoming politician and elected official as well as public servant for Brawley and the county of Imperial. So we'll be back with more in a minute.
Dominic Diaz kicking that into the end zone and non-returnable. So the Brawley Wildcats we'll have the ball here starting the second half.
Well, John, an outstanding interview with Gil Rebollar. A lot of enthusiasm, energy, positivity, and he had a way with words. Kind of reminds me of that young politician in 2004 or 5. What was it when you threw your hat in the ring for city council?
2008.
Okay. Never give John a date.
Well, not that kind.
Well, anyway.
So we're back here live.
With the voice of choice, Johnny Moe, John Moreno Brown.
And looks like we've got Gutierrez and Moreno. Gutierrez going deep over the middle and intended for Clemente. But well guarded this time by Calexico's number 88. Or 85.
That is Carlos Villanueva. Carlos Villanueva.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats.
So Matthew Gutierrez joined by Sergio Garcia, Roy Rosas, Brandon Porras, and Matthew Moreno.
And that one, number 4 for the Wildcats.
Brandon Porras.
So they're bringing in.
Porras came into tonight's ball game with 14 carries for 66 yards, a long of 21 yards, and 1 touchdown. He's been utilized more as a receiver to complement the fleet Sergio Garcia.
A pitch and recovered by Calexico.
So a turnover at the 10-minute, 41-second
Andre
mark.
Lopez, Vic.
Andre Lopez, number 27, that linebacker. And we have a running clock to inform those of you that are just tuning in. Brawley leads by 35 points, 35-0. So what do they call it, the mercy rule? Running clock?
Well, they just call it the running clock. You can call it whatever you want, Vic.
Or you can call me Ray or you can call me Jay.
Running clock, you better go catch it because it's running fast.
And John, I gave you a segue into the commercial, RJ or JR.
Well, that's light beer from Miller. Alfred's is our sponsor, but they can't promote that. 1st and 10, going the other way. Israel Ruiz. Fernandez, low snap, but Ruiz will try to move it up. And we'll get
number 77 for the Wildcats in to make that stop. That was Chris Espinosa, a sophomore, 6 foot, 280 pounds. So we're going to see him for another 2 seasons as he's playing the nose guard position.
In fact, we've got some special guests up here tonight. We've got Sean Torres and Bobby Montejano. Going to grace our airwaves.
How are we doing? Good evening.
Okay, we'll get to you in just a minute after this play with Israel Ruiz. And rolling out this way. Finds a receiver, but the wrong color, and that's number 39. 39 for the Brawley Wildcats. Joshua Vizcarra. So the Brawley Wildcats will take over another turnover here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 standout quarterbacks that have suffered season-ending injuries, and Bobby Montejano and Sean Torres. Welcome, guys. So tell us, how are you guys doing now physically?
Physically, I'm all right. Oh,
go ahead, Sean.
I'll go ahead first. I mean, physically, I'm all right. You know, I'm getting surgery next Friday, but I mean, I can't really do much. It's pretty much torn in my leg.
Okay, so as you see this offensive preparation, a new quarterback, first year playing organized football, have you guys been providing any assistance during practice or, some guidance, or is leaving it up to the coaching staff?
Yeah, 100%. You know, with a guy with very little experience having to step up to the plate, we try to give him the best information we can that we have on the field and off the field. We kind of just focus on his mentality right now. We're just trying to give him as many reps as possible and just try to perform the best with little he has,
Well, the Bulldogs started out great against Palo Verde.
Yeah.
And your succeeding games, you guys were undefeated, etc. The team seemed deflated last week, and it's kind of carried over. How do you get them out of that lull to try to get some positive energy back involved? And I know it starts at practice and walking the hallways of the campus, to keep their attitude up. What role have you two played? Even though you're injured, but that doesn't mean you're not the heart and soul of the team.
Obviously losing their leaders, it's a big loss for them. They don't have anyone to guide them. But I mean, during school, during practice or whatever, we're always talking to them, trying to keep their head up. This football. There's more to life, so just keep your head up and keep being positive. Just go out and have fun. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, injuries happen. So I mean, you just gotta keep going, and no
we
matter
tell
what,
them,
keep grinding.
There's no point of the game of football if you're not having fun. Don't ruin the purpose of just trying to come out here and win, score. Scoreboard's just a number on the board.
Okay,
End of the day.
Well, Brawley has a lot of veterans. You've played with them against them since Pop Warner days, etc.
Very talented.
And they've raced out to a 35-0 lead. What do you think of this Brawley team or offense? And will this be the year that they win the bell game?
I think so.
I think so.
I think the addition with Bubba Garcia, I mean, he's explosive.
Yeah.
And the quarterback with Matthew, like, they're both super talented. I think they can get it done.
Okay, now they'll be challenged by Imperial. Imperial has a good quarterback in Jaden Ayala.
Yep.
And then they have 3 standout freshmen led by Darren Wessel. As a running back. So, he runs like he's a senior and a star senior.
Yeah.
Any comments on that?
Yeah, we've actually practiced with them and trained with them, in the beginning of the season, and from the get-go we saw him. He's gifted. He's for sure gifted.
You can tell he's gonna be a stud.
Yeah, he could look, do anything.
So Brawley's offense? They've got a lot of offensive weapons. How would you guys defend them?
Well, Bubba is definitely one of the greatest aspects of the team, so we'll probably get a good one-on-one, maybe two people on him.
I say you double Bubba, and then you try to work with your guy with your other corners.
Just watch the guards from there.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about Matthew Gutierrez? What does he bring to the table as a passer and as a runner? He's a dual threat.
Yeah, Matthew is just the way I've seen him throughout the years is he's a physical player. He does it all. He can hit you and he will throw that ball over you. So I mean, I guess you just play him the best you can, and it's just one of those things that he's a great athlete, and you got to respect that, and you just got to play him the best you can.
Okay, any comments that you guys would like to make while you see the way the teams are being set up now, offense and defensively?
Well, this is the first punt from Brawley, so.
Yeah,
So.
Right now, I think they're in a low point of the season, but I think every team has those moments, and I think they just need to get themselves out of it. I think it starts with the energy. Definitely, our seniors that are left are going to step up. But, I mean, from here, we could just tell over time if we're going to see what happens.
We've got to get all these guys dedicated to 4 years of football.
Yes, 100%.
Some of the guys that come out their freshman year, but we don't see them for another couple of years, and they want to start on their senior year. And that's been a problem for years. So you had this good, this freshman squad that was pretty solid. Where are some of those guys? Some of those talented guys didn't want to come out, so I'm thinking how we get these guys out. What do you got to do?
Does it come from within, from the players themselves, or from the coaching staff down?
These are the guys to ask right here.
Yeah, I think what lacks in Calexico, which is putting us in a very bad position, is that we don't have Pop Warner anymore. And the year that we went to semifinals in Calexico, that team's been playing with each other since they were kids. So, I mean, I think we lack the Pop Warner and, playing since we were kids. So, since that program has ended, I think we've just been in a great suffering for Calexico.
We've talked to Todd Evangelos. He's looking for parents to run that program. He's come and talked to me. We've talked to Coach Solano to start that. We've got to get some parents involved to run that program. It's youth football.
Well, is it cost prohibitive? Is it too expensive for the families to get their kids in? What is it, $300, $400?
That's what Pop Warner was back in the day, too,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think motivation is where it's at. I think just parents need to find it in them. They used to just get their kids out there in the field and get them.
We've got a great facility. Build it and they will come, but we haven't seen that.
Well, I want you guys to listen to John as he's the play-by-play supreme. He'll call out a play, and then you guys can provide the color commentary. Okay?
You want to try that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, let's watch it. Calexico has the football. And that's Israel Reese.
1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
No, it's inside the 14.
Handoff.
Reese.
Oh, shake it off.
Nothing there.
And there's nothing there. I mean, you got this defense just
okay, a
physical
horde
team.
Gang tackling.
A horde of Brawley defenders led by number 55, of Brawley. That was Jacob Padilla.
And Giovanni Silva, the ball carrier.
A 6 foot, 235-pound junior. So go ahead, Sean, you're up.
What's up?
The color commentary, like what I just did.
So you kind of repeat and analyze.
What's Brawley's strength? Their defensive line, their linebackers, or their cornerbacks?
I practiced this in Madden before. Let's see.
I think the cornerbacks and their D-line.
Daniel Escobar in there.
Let's see.
Seeing some action.
Shot confirmation.
So what are the keys to the Calexico offense?
And he had it in his back of his hand. He throws it and falls in front of him.
Well,
they gave it to him with his behind his back.
The guard needs to get his block.
So the Calexico offensive line, who are the key linemen? The offensive guards or the tackles? When you call your play and you look, who do you?
The guard is the main one on runs.
I think
they're the one that's pulling and sending the linebacker.
Especially with the scheme that Calexico, actually I think the Imperial Valley plays in, is that the guards are always doing the heavy duty, getting in there and doing the dirty work.
And when you look at the defensive side from the quarterback standpoint, who are you keen on as a defensive player to either run at him or run away from him?
Linebackers, for sure.
Yeah, linebackers.
If I'm doing a read, I'm
linebackers are DNs.
Yeah, always. Corner safeties are kind of
Brandon Porras.
not consistent.
In the shotgun for the Wildcats. And number 2, Clemente.
Split to the near side.
Yeah, so they've sat Gutierrez and Moreno, but that was a good hit there by number 27, Andre Lopez.
And that was number 21, the ball carrier.
But after he picks up 6-7 yards.
Roman Britain.
And take it to the 16. 2nd and 4 for the Wildcats.
A 5'7", 160-pound senior. Seen some action tonight.
And about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Brawley's up 35-0. And we'll get some updates from around the valley.
So did it surprise you guys that all these teams in the valley were starting out, excluding Southwest, undefeated or only with one loss?
No surprise at all.
No surprise at all, yeah.
I know most of the players on all the other teams.
Another
I know what
fumble.
they're capable of. So, and I'll look at the matchups. Every time I look at a team, I'll look at who they're playing and whoever, and I'll see the roster and I'll see their highlights, and you can just tell that the teams in the valley have like more star power and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, of the 3 teams that we're talking about in league, Brawley, Imperial, and Central, who do you think, in your estimation of playing against these guys over the years, has the most balance to maybe pull it out?
I think that stuck out to me, throughout playing through high school, is that Brawley's always been very organized.
Yeah.
You could tell they've always known, like in bad positions, they know what to do. I'm not going to say Central and Imperial are not good teams. They're excellent teams. They have great players, great athletes. They're also organized, but when it comes down to execution, Brawley's usually the one that has it over them.
Brawley consistently lives throughout the year, every single day, and they have one of the best mindsets. None of them are scared.
A sack quarterback there, number 18, Ian Bettis, bringing down.
So Brawley,
Porras.
when they step on the gridiron on the field, they have that confidence. They're saying, they come on the field saying, we're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know by how much, but we're going to win. And so every play, they're playing that way, that they're going to win the play. And then at the end of the game, let's see who has the most points.
Yeah, no, they're a bunch of dogs, but I'm not going to take credit away from Imperial and Central. They're also a great team, great athletes over there too. They're excellent players.
Yeah, I think league is the most competitive right now this year. I think every team kind of has a chance to beat each other.
Yeah.
Well, what I've noticed from doing VSN is that this was the year of the quarterback. We had 2 outstanding quarterbacks in you 2 for Calexico, senior leadership, etc. And you guys had your own highlight films of putting your plays together. Al Central with Vidosula, or Vasquez Jimenez is his last name. His mother's Vidosula.
Right.
And then you had Jaden Ayala at Imperial. Hopeville has an injured quarterback, Alonso Cuevas, and then.
No, I've seen his film. He's outstanding.
And then Raul Briseño stepped in, and then Brawley.
Yeah. No, great teams. Like, nothing bad to say.
Yeah, Brawley's at the top.
Strong at quarterback, everyone in the league.
Yeah.
Okay, John, the floor is all yours.
Well, we've got the running clock going on. They're starting the fourth quarter of play, and Brawley's facing a 4th and long at the Calexico 28-yard line. So it looks like they're not going to go for the field goal.
So
or are they?
What you've seen thus far with Brawley, who are the two players that have stood out to you in this game?
Oh, for sure, Bubba and
Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew. I actually went to a camp with Bubba, and he stood out in San Diego.
Bubba Sergio Garcia and Matthew Moreno or Matthew Gutierrez?
Yeah, the running back, he's good too.
Okay, but
So,
which
45-yard field goal
Matthew?
attempt.
Oh, the Gutierrez.
Yeah.
Because he plays defense too, and he's a standout on defense.
So they
We got to get these guys on a podcast, Vic.
Yeah,
They got a lot to say.
Yeah.
I could be here all night.
Yeah,
you guys
no,
let me. You might take these headphones
study
away from
every
me.
player.
I might just start spending my whole life. Who knows?
There you go.
Yeah, nah. Especially because what's his name? Matthew. He's a wrestler. A lot of the kids on Brawley, all wrestlers, and wrestling correlates with football. So
Yeah, especially that one guy, Robert Platt.
Goes hand in hand.
That dude was a
and
man.
that's what I wanted to say, John. Not so much about track and building up their speed, but they get them in wrestling. So the linemen, even though they're the same size as other linemen in the valley, they know how to use their hands. They know
They're
how
more
to,
tenacious.
They know how to use their body positioning. They know how to bend their knees, get down in a squat, and in the trenches, John. Anything goes. You were a standout lineman wearing jersey number 74.
That's right. Don't you
school.
forget it. Dominic Flores coming this way. And pops out the football, but there's
Alex gets it.
Recovered there.
Dominic's a basketball player.
That's the big fella, number 64.
But that was number 36,
Alexander Guevara.
Was that 36 or 39 that made the tackle? That was 39 for the. That was Joshua Vizcarra that separated the ball from the Bulldog ball carrier.
A pickup of 3 yards. Ball at the 23.
Let's see what we can do here. Let's see. They're not negative now, so.
So when we talk about the Bulldog opportunities, this is just the first game in league. We have 4 more remaining, or 3 more remaining, and then we have the Battle of the Border with Vincent Memorial, the last game of the season.
Great team, yeah.
What encouragement would you give to your teammates, besides keeping their heads up, to focus one game at a time, one play at a time?
Yeah, film. Watching film every day.
Yeah, being consistent.
When you watch film, the game becomes slower. It becomes easier. A lot of these kids, they watch film in practice, but they're not watching film during school, during lunch. Anytime they can, and that's a big problem. A lot of these kids are not fully committed.
Yeah, they just come out here and just hope what they learn in practice is going to correlate, to here the game.
Talk about the offseason. I think the offseason is a big part of our program and
the weight room.
Yeah, and we get injuries because they're not dedicated to lifting weights during the offseason, or they're not developing their agility and their strength, or why are so many injuries?
I think it's playing scared. I think a mindset when you're playing scared, you're bound to get hurt because you're not going full speed.
Right.
They're going full speed.
Yeah.
And these kids don't have the mindset.
You're waiting to be hit, John.
Yeah, and then weight room is definitely a huge aspect of not getting injured. You need to be constantly tearing muscles and repairing, and a lot of kids don't go to the weight room and they think they're going to come out here and hit as hard as other kids, and they're not. That's why you could definitely tell who does the work on the offseason, who doesn't when the season starts.
Who works out after practice by themselves, not just with the team.
And you guys throw passes on the weekends with your receivers.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Team chemistry is.
Well, John, we're going to have to go cruising on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, turning up the boombox, see if these guys are playing football in the street.
Oh, we are. You'll see us.
Running to the parked car and button hooking.
I'm throwing that ball with 1 foot, hopping around.
This summer, the whole valley, everyone made a little 7-on-7 team, and the whole valley came together over there in that field over there, and it was a good experience.
At the Gutierrez Park across
the street?
across the street. So basically, I think it was coming towards the end of year last year. The valley made the 7-on-7 league, and people from Central, Brawley, Holtville, Imperial, us, we all made teams, like custom teams though. I think we partnered up with Imperial, like us and Calexico and Imperial kind of clicked, and Holtville had their own team. It was beautiful. It was so cool to play with everyone in the valley. It was cool.
So you guys developed relationships and friendships.
Yeah, it was super cool.
That go beyond football.
Yeah, the only ones that weren't there were Calipan and Battle Verde, but they make it's a longer drive, But it was really cool just playing with everyone, seeing the different talent, and just having a good laugh. One Sunday everyone's like, hey, we're gonna play. Whoever pulls up, let's do it. And then everyone actually came, and it was cool seeing people that played, like Artie. He graduated last year, but he went. Central's team went. Everyone went, and everyone competed, and it was cool.
Adrian Duron with a first down, Vic. 1st and 10 for Calexico.
Oh, nice.
Sean and Bobby Montejano. Sean Torres up here in the booth with us tonight. 1st and 10.
Well, John, you know, sometimes when you get the insight from a quarterback,
Dominic Flores.
That adds a lot to the presentation. Like in the pros, you had Tony Romo. Now they've added Tom Brady, and here with VSN,
we got two of them.
We have two, Sean Torres and Bobby Montejano.
Yeah. Sadly, we're here, but hey, happens. That's life, huh? That's life. Can't put it down.
Yeah. That's right. I've been a poet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, and a pawn and a king.
Amen. Amen. The more you do, right?
That's it. 6:50 remaining in this football game. And Calexico seeing Dominic Flores in the shotgun position.
Great athlete right there.
And he's Dominic Flores is only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's young.
Well, you know, John, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree on both these guys. They have it going through their blood. Sean Torres, besides being the son of Steve Boo Torres and the Mikey Torres, the great running back for Calexico in the early 80s. His grandfather, Nene Torres, an offensive lineman.
Don't forget the other grandfather.
And then you have Jose Picalo Gonzalez, who I played football, basketball, and baseball with. Wow. And then Bobby's grandfather, Humbert Montejano, in the Hall of Fame for the Coaches Association, was an all-state receiver at IVC, had a scholarship for San Diego State with Don Coryell and the air raid that so you guys, not only that, your uncles, your namesake, Robert Montejano in the 50s, and then the speed demon Carlos Montejano, your uncle, and your dad was a great football player, linebacker, defensive end back in the mid-90s.
Yep. Big chains.
That's, big shoes to fill,
Yep.
And we don't see enough of that. We don't see the third generation athletes like Sean and Bobby Montejano in Calexico, because we've become more or less a transient population coming and going. So a lot of newcomers coming into Calexico, whereas Bobby and Sean, they've been here. Their parents and families are pioneers.
Well, their grandparents and parents are sitting in the stands at Cal Jones Field or at Shimamoto Simpson Stadium in Imperial, as a lot of Bulldog alumni, are supporting those programs, and there's nothing wrong with that, John. Because you go where you think your kids will play, or you're able to find a home that your family can comfortably grow up in.
But these boys have been practicing at 5:30 every morning to avoid that wet bulb thermometer, and so Coach Solano, leaves his house at 3 o'clock and gets here at 4:30 or so, and he's just
driving from Yuma every day.
Yeah, and
great
nice
kick.
Punt by Dominic Diaz.
That dude's a dog.
If he keeps it up, trying to move it. Dominic plays and trying to air it out. Go north.
So even though this season has kind of come to an abrupt end for you after one game and after 4 games, do you guys want to continue playing football after high school, like at the community college level, or?
It's definitely a thought.
Yeah, it's a process.
It'd be great to go back and when my knee's fixed, I go back in there and just do what I do. But at the same time, I also got a lot of life that I need to live. Careers and what I'm gonna do after high school.
Do you guys play any other sports besides football?
Yeah, baseball.
Basketball and track.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you out there on the hard court or on the baseball.
I make it back for track.
You can't see me. I'm done for the year.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, ACL tear. It's a year recovery, and this is my second one on the same leg.
Yeah,
I kind of been unlucky throughout my high school years, but I'm gonna try to recover, and I might give it a shot in community college and see what happens.
Well, in that first game, you broke off a quarterback keeper down the far sideline, and what was it, 80 yards plus. Then you got hurt on defense, right?
Yes. I was going for the tackle, and as soon as I planted my foot, it just kind of gave up on me. And it was the same thing when I tore it the first time. I didn't even get hit. It was a self-injury. I tried to cut, and Chula Vista and their field was kind of like wet and kind of muddy, and my ACL just kind of gave up on me.
So it was kind of like a self-inflicted injury.
Yeah. It wasn't caused because of a hit. It was caused because of my plant. As soon as I planted.
And what about you, Bobby? How did you get injured?
They had told me it was a chronic injury, so it was like an injury that's already been built up. But they said over the years of playing like basketball, then going to track, then going to football, then going back to basketball, it just destroyed my meniscus and then MCL and everything. So they were like, I basically, when I came into the season, I didn't have.
Just a wear and tear.
Yeah, when I came into the season, I didn't have a meniscus anymore. So it was kind of just bound to happen. And I mean, the last game against Francis Parker, I didn't even feel hurt. Like, it was just really swollen. And I finished the game out, and then I went to go get an MRI because they were like, you go get it checked out. And, yeah, they told me the bad news, and now we're here today. But, hey, life continues, and keep your head up.
It sure does. And remember, academics, your education is going to be your ladder to success.
Oh, good hit. Yeah, 100%. Athlete second, school's first.
Athlete.
Yeah, student athlete for a reason. Student first.
That's exactly right.
So, John, fill us in on the play-by-play. What's been happening out there?
Well, not much really. Calexico's been sticking, and they did a good stick there. That was Andre Lopez hitting the ball carrier, and he's having a tough time getting up. So we'll be back with more in a minute on the Valley Sports Network.
Company. We are a local, family-owned business specializing in tires and automotive needs. We are located at 114 Main Street, El Centro. Call us at 760-352-1721.
El Distrito de Irrigación de Imperial, su proveedor de energía pública, ofrece varios programas de asistencia de pago. Nuestros clientes con ingresos que califiquen pueden ahorrar entre un 20 o 30% en su factura de electricidad y también recibir ayuda si enfrentan desconexiones por falta de pago. Para recibir ayuda, llámenos al 1-800-303-7756. Visite uno de nuestros centros de servicio al cliente o visite iid.com. iID, donde los clientes siempre son primero.
We're back here live at Willis Ward Field. Under 1 minute to go in this football game. Brawley's up 35. We've got Sean Torres and Bobby Montejano gracing our airwaves. So one more shout out. Let's start with Sean.
Yep, let's go, Sean.
Shout out Nana Loli. Loli Mercado Torres, the best nana in the world, turning 80.
Amen.
80? She looks like she's only 39.
Yeah, she's only 39.
Hey, let's go. I'm going to close it off by saying shout out to my mom. I love her. She's my day one. And do nothing without her. So, yeah. She's right there taking me a picture.
Okay.
Speaking of her.
Always showing support.
Yeah, she's always here.
Well, thank you, guys. It was a pleasure having you up here.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll see you Monday morning.
I'll see you Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is the sole property of VSN, the Valley Sports Network. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the owners is strictly prohibited.
Well, Vic, let's talk about player of the game for the Brawley Wildcats.
Well, number 3, Sergio Garcia, and the quarterback, number 8, and outstanding linebacker, Matthew Gutierrez, are the Burgers and Beer Player of the Game recipients.
Okay, so we'd like to close out our show and thank all our sponsors. I'd like to thank, of course, Will Torres, our program director for VSN, our technician in the booth, Jose Alejos, and, of course, our cameraman, Mr. Panchito Garcia, and our cameraman number 2, Mario Camacho, who's out on the field. And we've got a new addition to VSN South. We've got that second camera. Hopefully we will incorporate the instant replay sometime soon. Again, and for Vic Carrillo, this is John Moreno on VSN coming to you live. This game is over. Calexico at the short end of a 35-0 loss to the vaunted Brawley Wildcats, who now go 6-0, and Calexico is now 4-2. And next week, the Calexico Bulldogs will have a bye, and the Brawley Wildcats will continue their winning ways, hopefully. So from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Friday night. This is exciting Imperial Valley football on the Valley Sports Network. For Vic Carrillo, this is John Moreno saying good night, and we'll see you next Friday from wherever we are.